And we're back. Man, I can't believe what just happened with Crystal Dynamics, the team that is responsible for putting out Marvel Avengers. And we're going to get into it right now. Kalika loud. Man, oh man. I cannot believe it. Listen, maybe you were on the stream on Twitch not too long ago. We had CD Phil, who is the Warzone director for the Marvel's Avengers game, and we had Andy Wong on, and I believe he is in charge of the social media. He's one of the directors, if not the head director. But they did a stream where they played some of the mission, the Rift mission, and just candidly just talked to us as a community. And as your unofficial community manager, I feel like I got to try to keep this video completely aimed at the community. And that's what I really try to do every time I do a video. And the thing that was really cool about these two guys, who seem so down to earth, this is what we want. We just want communication. And their communication came off very genuine and very real. I think early on, it was brought to our attention again to remember there's a pandemic going on. So there's a lot of people working from home, a lot of people who live on the West Coast that had to move from their homes due to the fires. And we can, like I said, we can forget that in gaming and forget there's actual people who are behind these games that we spend a lot of our time playing. And Andy went into saying, hey, listen, this is not something that we want to do right now the way we're doing it, executing, like I'm jumbling up my words, but what I mean is like this is just a test run of the stream, and if he could do it the way he wants, everything works out as smooth as it can, he would like to do something like this weekly. And so he was asking us, hey, what do you want to do? And I've got a previous video that kind of goes into if I was asked, hey, what we do to turn this around. They're doing it right now. You got that thank you package that gives you some things that would cost some money and some things that you would have to grind for it. So that was cool. You can hear in the background maybe me changing the page on my notes as I go through this. But they do want feedback, whether it's through social media. They want feedback. They want it and they need it. They also want to play with us in the game. They want to do streams where we're playing along with them as they're having the conversation on the war table, or if the stream is something separate from that. They're still working out the details for it, but it'd be really cool if, let's say, there was 2, 3, 4 developers or people from Crystal Dynamics, even though they're on the screen talking, right, and going over things about the game and showing screenshots of stuff, that someone is changing what characters are playing. Because we were only able to see Phil controlling Thor. We couldn't see Andy using Captain America, but that would be cool. Also, each person could have their own group, which means there's 3 people on each group that would be fans of the game playing around and streaming out there. So that would be cool. They played on, I believe, a private server for dev build. I believe it was so, how Phil explained it is so that they can do the same mission over and over again without any issues, I guess, maybe. So they did talk about the drop of frame rates. I don't know what that was all about before, but anywho, and they just, like I said, they seem really down to earth. They talked about PvE mode, it having more things to do, but right now they want to focus on the bug. So they explained more or less why Kate, her storyline and things of that nature were pushed back, and also with that kind of given the tidbit that there's no villain that's coming with her. But there is a villain that's coming with a big DLC that's coming out. And I don't know what villain they would put in the comments, what villain you like to see in the game. But I don't know what villain they would put, because I believe, didn't they say it was going to be an Adaptoid that has all their abilities together? And there was, I think, a picture of that. But neither say there's a new villain that's coming, I think, but we all knew about that. There was no information on anything for Halloween. So there's no like Halloween skins or events going on for that. It's not something they mentioned, but I thought it would be something. They did mention for the buttons that they do the buttons or the, I want to say maybe the weight plates to open up certain chests in the map. If you guys had ideas of what they could do to add to different puzzles, go ahead and find them on social media or Reddit or Discord. And they seem like they're looking for some ideas to do some things different. I mean, one thing I have, I mean, you could make it like a scavenger hunt. It's a really big map. So find something in, maybe you got to kick a tire or set off some missiles. I don't know. But big maps, figure something out to do with the big maps that you have. That could be something to have you press buttons throughout the mission. And then when you get to a certain point, the chest should be open and you see if you missed one, then you've got to fly around and figure that out versus having all of them based off of a time. It was funny because in the game there was two funny moments. One was real, a real moment. The other one was kind of like one of the flaws that I talk about. One of the moments was I think Andy mistakenly hit Phil's character while they were playing. That happens to me all the time. I don't know if it happens to you. It happens to me. I'm just swinging around. I'm in the heat of the moment, and I hit my own team member. And I think it would be cool. I know they extended the time that when you hit up for the tactical, that shows your whole field of view and where your characters are at. If they showed something that hovered over them, maybe throughout the whole match or the whole mission, that would be nice. And then the other thing that was a little, kind of going with, like I said, how the game is played and where we're at in a community is the heal build issue. There was a point where Phil and Andy was really trying to do the teamwork like Captain America does, and Phil, similar to Thor, was like, no, I'm kind of just here doing it, and I got this. And Phil didn't bring a hill build that would benefit the whole team. He had a build that would benefit him on the hill. And I think that's what we need to do as far as when they do these pro tips. Like they've been doing some videos on pro tips with Miss Marvel, and kind of telling you buttons to press and what you would do as you're playing the game. But those pro tips weren't really pro tips. They were literally just the buttons you would press to play the game. A pro tip would be telling somebody how to do something that maybe they didn't learn during the harm missions. So that was cool. They did mention the PlayStation bug for the trophies. They are still working on that. They're still, like I said before, working on the fact that the frames do drop. They understand that. What else I got on here? I think that was it. It would be cool if there was missions that had one or two characters, and what I mean by that is you do a mission, it's just you. There's no other characters. I feel like sometimes I'm doing a mission, I'm babysitting. There should be maybe a mission where it's just two of you, three of you, just just to mix it up a little bit, to make it a little different. I think that'll be cool. But their focus was, hey, listen, we appreciate you guys, and I thought as watching Crystal Dynamics do this was a big step in the right direction. You can see it in the chat that people were honestly, majority, there were still a few knuckleheads in there, but majority of them were actually just happy that there was some communication, that hey, look, a roadmap's coming, we'll figure this all out. And so I think if they execute this right, then I think, not to say it replaces for new missions and new things down the line, but I think it honestly will give a nice little cushioning as we get ready for the new stuff that's coming out. There is a patch that I think just came out, so hopefully I can have a video on that patch to see if there's anything crazy about that one. I know there's another patch after that has to do with some UI stuff. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, Miller. If you follow on Twitter, there's a guy, if I'm able to, I'll put up the picture of it. But he's awesome. You probably know him already or through somebody, where I think the logo for Black Panther, he put that out. I think he even put out recently a roadmap on when he thinks something's going to come out. But there was a funny moment when I think the public relations for Crystal Dynamics basically kind of called him out. And I thought that was funny. But yeah, so anyways, Miller basically has it set up in a way, and he's been batting 1,000 on what's coming out and when. And like I said, I honestly think the community is, if you just speak to us and show that you're taking what we're saying, and the time that we're having in the game, showing that it's valuable. I think people understand cleaning up the game and getting things right. And once the content, once the new missions and characters start coming out, then I think that expectation will get back on where it's supposed to be. So, like I said, that is it. I appreciate your time. You could have been anywhere in the world and you're here. And I'm getting these videos out a little bit faster, okay? I'm trying. If you can put in the comments anything that you think I should cover, is a certain game, whatever the case is, go ahead and put in the comments. 3 likes is what I'm going for. 3 is my favorite number. And go ahead and subscribe and hit the notifications, because I don't really have a schedule right now and I'm still figuring this out. So, till next time, kalika-lika-low.